There is something on here, hold on. This might work. Give that a test. Okay. Let's see if that works. Yeah, okay, that's not gonna work. Okay, it's not doing it. So, I finally got my hair cut yesterday. I start my new training for my new job on Monday, and I just really needed a haircut after not having one for a year. Um, so, this haircut that I got yesterday, and fuck, we're already in August. August 2nd already. Um, so, got my haircut yesterday. Looks a lot better. Basically, my hair was long in some of the videos prior. Like I said, I needed it. Start my new training for my new job over in Joliet on Monday, and it was about time for it. So and for a while, I was on job sites looking for jobs, trying to pick up a second job anyway to make a little extra money on the side. And even though I had my interview on Monday for this one job, was messaged back yesterday stating, asking me if I when can I start my training and what day would work best for me and what shifts would work best for me to do the training. So I accepted like the job. Um, Now this would be my first, this actually no second commission based job that I've ever worked. I never really been big on the commission jobs, but this is worth a shot. Trying to they will train you on how to use forklifts and pallet jacks. That will also be something good to know. Um, and for a while, I was on job sites looking for second jobs and not getting much of anything. And this week, I get messages from three different jobs: Capstone, Pilot, the gas station, and some golf course that I applied to. And since Capstone was the one that got back to me, I'm taking them, and I'm gonna skip out on Pilot and the golf course because I can't do four jobs at once unless you really want to work yourself to death. Um, and I'm not gonna do that. Um, but it is good that I got my second job. We'll see how those goes. Joliet has a lot of warehouse jobs out that way in Illinois. So if anybody that lives in Joliet's interested, they can look out there for any warehouse jobs or whatever they want to look for. So that's a good thing. Um, Now, Capstone is not a job that I've ever done, but what they do is they unload the trucks with the packages and they organize them on a pallet and then they shrink wrap them. Like they wrap them in that plastic stuff. That's not something I've ever done before, so this will be something new um, to learn. And that's going to add into job skills. And it seems, and this year is flying by fast. I was like, I felt like the year just started, and now we're in August. Now we got 4 months left. My raise for UPS is gonna they kick in every August 1st, which yesterday was August 1st. Um, in the next month, September 16th would be my 1 year mark at UPS. Time is just flying when it comes to being there, and some people have been there longer than me, and that's just how it is. We got some people at UPS who've been there for 30 something years, if not longer, and they're still there. Um, Whew, yeah. It's been so damn hot out too. I've been neglecting on drinking my coffee that I usually drink because it's been hot out. I'm not sure what the temperature is today, but it was probably in the 70s or so or 80s for the state of Illinois. I do want to bring this up because I have not brought it up. Even though I am a Cubs fan, the Cubs have lost one of the baseball players that had played for them for years. Ryan Sandberg had died from cancer. He was one of the baseball players on the Cubs back in the '80s and up until the '97. He did miss 1 year due to not playing. I think he had set out just that year for like retirement, but then he came back, played 2 more years, and then retired again. And then he did become a manager at one point. He was only 65 years old. He had prostate cancer, I think is what he was battling. Um, Even though he was called by the name Rhino, like that was basically what his nickname was. And my Cubs did win yesterday. They beat Baltimore yesterday, 1-0 on a sac fly by Ian Happ. Um, it's been so damn long since I've been to a Cubs game. I do want to go back to one eventually, but I'm not gonna take the chance yet until I get some money saved up to go back to one. Now, I think the last time I was at a Cubs game was back in 2000, I think 4. So it's been 21 years. Was the last time I went to a Cubs game. I'm about due for another one to go back. Yeah, so like with Ryan Sandberg, he did become a manager, but his managing career did not last long. He took over for the Phillies in 2013 in the middle of the season, but then he would step down in 2015. Um, I'm not sure why he did not continue managing. So yeah, this live video won't be that long, but yeah. So Ryan Sandberg, like I said, died. Um, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2005, just about several years after retiring. Um, and Sandberg would spend a majority of his career with the Cubs. He spent 1982 to 1994 with them. Then he sat out the '95 season, and then he would come back and play for the Cubs for 2 more years, '96 and '97, before retiring again at the end. Let's see if anybody messaged anything on my thing here. I doubt there is. And some baseball games did have high scoring games yesterday, which I was kind of surprised about because. Okay, let me close this out. Okay, let me see here. Oh, where is? I guess I closed that one out. Let me go back up here. Let's see, we got football season coming up, which is the one sport I do not care about. I care more about basketball and baseball than I do football, but football season's going to be starting. Let's go to MLB. There's been a lot of trades too. The Cubs did make a few trades. Um, the Cubs do need a pitcher, like a starting pitcher, but they didn't obviously go for one. They went for relievers, and they did not make a big name splash in the trades. Now the Rockies were down by 9 runs in the first inning, but they rallied and came back to beat the Pirates. Um, the New York Yankees released Marcus Stroman, for a former Cubs player, to make room for a couple other roster teams. Um, let's look at the scores from yesterday. Yeah, because today is August 2nd. Um, the Cincinnati Reds beat the Atlanta Braves 3-2. Cubs beat the Baltimore Orioles 1-0 on a sac fly by Ian Happ. Cade Horton takes that win. That's his 5th win of the year. And Daniel Palacio takes his 15th save of the year. Phillies beat the Detroit Tigers 5-4. The Milwaukee Brewers beat the Washington Nationals 16-9. Kansas City Royals beat the Toronto Blue Jays 9-3. Mike Yastrzemski was traded from the San Francisco Giants to Kansas City Royals, and he got his first home run in the Royals uniform yesterday. The Boston Red Sox beat Houston Astros 2-1. That took 10 innings. The Cleveland Guardians beat the Minnesota Twins 3-2. That took also 10 innings. Now Yankees were up 12-11, but ended up blowing the game to the Marlins 13-12. San Francisco Giants beat the New York Mets 4-3. Los Angeles Dodgers beat Tampa Bay Rays 5-0. Colorado Rockies beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 17-16. Was the final on that one. The Chicago White Sox beat the Angels 6-3. Los Angeles Angels 6-3. San Diego Padres beat the St. Louis Cardinals 4-1, or as I like to call them, the St. Louis Cocksuckers, because that's what they are. The Oakland Athletics, they're just basically calling the team Athletics. They don't even have the name Oakland in it. They beat the Diamondbacks 5-1. Now, speaking of Diamondbacks, the Diamondbacks had Merrill Kelly on their team, and they traded Merrill Kelly to the Texas Rangers. Seattle Mariners beat the Texas Rangers 4-3. And that's not too bad as it is. Now, J.P. Crawford, who basically is not a home run threat for baseball, but he hit but he hit the game-winning homer yesterday, walk-off homer. Now, the guy that's leading the homers right now is Cal Raleigh for Seattle Mariners. He's a catcher for Seattle, and he's been hitting home runs like fucking crazy. The guy's already got like 40-something home runs on the year. Now, Aaron Judge would have been closely tied with him, but recently, Aaron Judge is going to be out for the rest of the year. Supposedly, Tommy John surgery on his elbow. So he's going to be out for the year. He was already at 30 something homers, and now he's going to be done for the rest of the year until he comes back next year, if at all, if they let him. Um, with J.P. Crawford's homer for the year, that was only his 8th homer of the year. Like I said, he does not hit a whole lot. But Bizardo would take this win with his 5th win of the year. The one big hurt that has been hurting the Colorado Rockies is that now Chris Bryant started off his career with the Cubs, and then he ended up getting traded to San Francisco, and then now he's with Colorado. But since he's been with Colorado, he has not done shit. His career has gone downhill. They signed him to this big ass massive contract, and he has not produced under it. In his 3 years with Colorado, he spent more fucking time on the disabled list than he has playing. So I bet you Colorado's kicking themselves in the ass for signing him to that big deal, and he hasn't produced under that fucking deal at all. Now, basketball will be starting up in a couple months. I think October is preseason, and then you got the regular season starting at the beginning of November. Same thing with college basketball. And I cannot believe that Rich Hill, who started off his career with the Cubs 21 years ago, is pitching for Kansas City Royals, and the guy is 45 years old. I don't know what he's trying to prove. If he's trying to get to 100 wins, if he's trying to before he retires anyway. They gave a cause of death for Hulk Hogan. Basically, Hulk Hogan had a heart attack. Man, Andrew McCutchen is still hitting homers at the age of 39 for Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm like, that guy should just retire by now. With the Cubs winning yesterday, it was their 64th win of the year. They're 64 and 49 right now. They played better at home, but sometimes teams can play better at home, or also they can play better on the road. Now with the Nationals, they're 44 and 65, but they're 21 and 32 at home. They fared a little bit better on the road than playing at home. Now with the White Sox, 69 on the year, so you know they're not going anywhere. Let's see how I did not check all my baseball scores yesterday, so I'm trying to do all this now. Yeah, like I said, this video was not going to be too long. I'm going to head over to my next channel, to my other channel, Rusty the King, and put up a history video. And if you guys are interested, you can tune in over there. But I'm so excited I got my second job that I start. So let me know. So let me know if you guys like this video or not. You can subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button for the live stream. For RBW King, and I'm gonna head over to my other channel and we're gonna do a video over there. If you guys are interested in tuning in, and I'll see you guys